Hey guys, my dear champion student. Today we will be discuss about digestive system of human. And you know very well, digestive system of human is consist of long elementary long alimentary canal and associated digestive gland associated glands, right? And inside this associated gland, first of all, just introductory part about associated gland, there is presence of three pairs of salivary gland in our mouth, right? Three pairs of salivary gland in our mouth and a large liver, pancreas and several exocrine and endocrine gland present different part of our alimentary canal, right? Several exocrine and endocrine gland present throughout this long alimentary canal, right? And now I just love to introduce some basic point, very basic point about this associated gland and its basic function. I'll discuss it in later in big details, right? First of all, we have face, right? That is, just consider that is a human face, right? A very loving and cute human face consists of a very beautiful eye, and mouth contain, you know very well, mouth contain two jaw, that is upper jaw as well as lower jaw, and this upper jaw is called maxilla, and lower jaw of mouth is called mandible, right? And both of these jaw contain teeth, you know very well, that is the funny teeth. Just I draw roughly on this teeth. And mouth contain, focus on this, my dear student, salivary gland. Mouth contain three pairs of salivary gland, right? There is beneath the ear, there is presence of one pair of salivary gland. Beneath the tongue, below the tongue, that is tongue, and below the tongue there is also presence of a pair of salivary gland, and it is each side of face, right? And below the mandible there is also presence of another salivary gland. That's mean face contain three pairs of salivary gland, and three pairs mean six salivary gland, and all this salivary gland is responsible for production of saliva, and this saliva is actually responsible for digestion of our food, right? And next, this liver, actually liver is a bilobe gland, right? Bilobe structure. Liver is contain larger lobe as well as smaller lobe, and this liver is actually called largest exocrine gland, not endocrine gland. Focus, my dear student, that is another big area of MCQ, right? Liver is called largest exocrine gland. And one more important thing about this liver, about this beautiful liver, that liver does not produce any digestive enzyme for digestion of food, but till liver act as largest exocrine gland. Liver secrete lots of things which is responsible for our digestion and peaceful digestion and absorption of our food, right? And another organ, that is called pancreas, right? Pancreas is another champion and master organ for our digestive system, and it is responsible for digestion and absorption of food, that is carbohydrate, protein, lipid, and as well as nucleic acid. So pancreas have very great role in digestion and absorption of food, and there is several salivary, not salivary, there is several exocrine and endocrine gland throughout this long alimentary canal. Just that is the just basic idea about associated gland. We'll focus it separately in big details. Right now we have to focus about this alimentary canal separately. Today our topic is alimentary canal, and we deal it with big details, right? So first of all, copy it, my dear student. So my champ, now we have to focus alimentary canal, that is the main part of our digestive system. As you know, in previous video, our digestive system is start from mouth and end with anus, right? That's mean our digestive system contain how many opening, my dear student? You know very well this answer. Our digestive system start from mouth, that is first opening, and end with anus, that is second opening, right? So just consider that is our mouth, right? M-O-U-T-H, mouth. I make a really simplified and loving diagram for you. Just focus on this diagram and learn without any hesitation and crack whatever your competitive exam, NEET, AIMS, JIPMAR, and so on, right? That's mean there is our mouth, and mouth contain two jaw. We don't focus about now this jaw. Now just focus about our alimentary canal, right? And the floor of our mouth, opening, the opening of our mouth inside, when we open our mouth, like that, right? And this opening of mouth is called actually oral cavity or buccal cavity, that is oral cavity, right? Oral cavity, oral cavity, you can say it oral cavity as well as buccal cavity as well, right? Now this buccal cavity now turn down, and this downward long structure is actually called esophagus, right? Start beta. Question start from there, right? This long tube like structure after this oral cavity is called esophagus. O-E-S-O-P-H-A-G-O-U-S. Every point is need to understand as well as need to learn, my dear. This esophagus is a long tube-like structure, right? Now I draw the really simplified diagram for you. Now this esophagus is open into, next time, this esophagus is open into a pouch-like structure, right? A pouch-like structure, and you know very well this pouch-like structure is actually called the stomach, and stomach act as the temporary reservoir of food. Stomach don't store our food permanently for long time, right? A stomach store only the food for 4 hour, HOUR, 4 hour, right? That's why after 4 hour we feel hungry, my dear student. That is a logical question for you, right? For NEET, our stomach contain near about 4 hour food, right? That's why stomach is empty after every 4 hour. That's why we feel hungry, right? We need to eat again. So after this stomach, this pouch like structure stomach, there is presence of a C-shaped curve, right? There is presence of a C-shaped curve, and from there, that is the present, that is actually start the small intestine, right? After stomach there is start the small intestine. This C-shaped curve, the this curve is shaped like a alphabet C, This curve is actually shaped like a alphabet C, and this C-shaped curve of our intestine is actually called duodenum. D-U-D-E-N-U-M, right? Duodenum. And duodenum is the first part of our small intestine, right? It is very important. And next part of our intestine, small intestine especially, right? I draw just a simplified diagram for you, my dear student. That is really a simplified diagram for you, right? I don't make so many coil, just two coil there, and this part is also actually the part of our small intestine, right? Small intestine. And second part of our small intestine is actually called jejunum. This part, right? This part of our small intestine is called what? Jejunum, right? Jejunum. And next part of our intestine, next coil of our intestine is called ileum, right? That is, this part is called ileum. That's mean small intestine consists of how many part, my dear student? That is MCQ for you. Small intestine consists of three part. First part of small intestine is called duodenum, and second part of small intestine is called jejunum, as well as our third part of small intestine is called ileum, right? Now this small intestine is open into large intestine, right? And I just draw a very simplified diagram of large intestine, our large intestine, right? That is our large intestine. And in large intestine there is opening of our small intestine, right? And after large intestine there is a worm like structure, you know, my dear student. This worm like structure which is below the large intestine, this worm like structure is called actually appendix, right? This structure is called appendix, right? And there is another MCQ, that is this appendix is actually called vestigial organ. This appendix is also called vestigial organ. Vestigial organ. What is the meaning of vestigial organ, my dear student? You need to understand this. Vestigial organ means this organ, till now this organ is present in our body, but it is not functional, right? That is not functional. And this is the part of our large intestine, right? Large intestine. And this part of our large intestine is actually called, this part of our large intestine is actually called ascending colon, right? This part of our large intestine is called ascending colon, right? Ascending colon. Now this ascending colon is turned back below the stomach, and this part of large intestine, just this part of large intestine is called transverse colon, right? Transverse colon, right? Till this transverse colon and ascending colon is a part of what? Our large intestine, right? Large intestine. And this transverse colon again back downward, and this structure this structure of our large intestine is called descending colon. Descending colon, right? Descending colon. And after that descending colon again turn back above, and this part of our this part, particularly this part, this part of large intestine is called sigmoid colon, right? This part of our large intestine is called sigmoid colon. I mentioned it shortly, but you have to write it long form, right? This back part of our large intestine is called sigmoid colon. That's mean what? Our large intestine have how many part, my dear student? It have 4 part. That is ascending colon. This downward part is ascending colon, and after below this ascending colon there is a presence of a worm-like structure, and this worm-like structure is called appendix. And again, this appendix is act as a vestigial organ in human, because it is no longer functional in human body, right? That's why it is called vestigial organ. After that, this ascending colon is transversely go below the stomach, and this this transverse part of our large intestine is simply called transverse colon. And after transverse colon there is presence of descending colon, and descending colon again turned back above, and this part is called the sigmoid colon. After sigmoid colon there is again a pouch like structure, and this pouch like structure of our large intestine is called rectum. This part is called rectum, right? And rectum finally is open into anus, right? This is open into anus. That's why our digestive system start from mouth and end with anus. That's mean our digestive system consists of 2 opening, mouth and anus. That's why our digestive system is called complete digestive system, right? That's mean which digestive system contain 2 pore, this type of digestive system is called complete digestive system. But some digestive system contain only 1 opening, right? And this type of digestive system is called incomplete digestive system. As for example, planaria, right? I already mentioned it. So there is another champion MCQ for you, my dear student. Again focus, another champion MCQ. First of all, you need to develop a very crystal clear idea. Small intestine have how many part, my dear student? 3 part. First part of small intestine is called duodenum. Second part of small intestine is called jejunum, and third part is called ileum, right? And these 3 part together called small intestine, SMALL, small intestine. But our large intestine contain how many part? 4 part. That is ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, as well as sigmoid colon. After sigmoid colon, this part is again make a pouch like structure for temporary storage of fecal matter, feces, right? And this part is open into anus, right? That's mean next part of our digestive system is called large intestine. But there is champion MCQ for you. This small intestine is not small again, right? Actually small part of intestine is actually large intestine. Large intestine is not large, is not long, right? Most long part of our intestine is actually called small intestine. That is, this MCQ can puzzle you, right? But my student, Uttam Bala student, should be very crystal clear about this question, right? Small intestine is not small, it is actually long part of our intestine. But large intestine is not actually large, it is the short part of our intestine, my dear, right? That is all about the basic idea about our digestive system, right? And in next lecture we have to focus in this area, right? That's mean mouth associated, our associated glands, that is salivary gland and associated mouth associated structure, right? I hope you enjoy this video a lot. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, share and subscribe if you are new in this channel for supporting Bala Result. Bye my dear student.